Money in the Bank ladder match, LA Knight. Yeah. Penta, Seth Rollins, Solo Sikoa, Andrade, and El Grande, Americano. And Maddie, I hate to say, but I knew my hopes were dashed with El Grande Americano. As soon as they cut that promo backstage in the Fireball ladder, I was like, oh man, he's not winning this match. My pick was just torched in DOA as soon as that happened backstage. But nonetheless, Maddie, let me put the ball in your court. What were some of your favorite moments out of the men's Money in the Bank ladder match?
I mean, I thought it was pretty good spots regardless, but I love the ending where you have not just the solo Uso, but the factions facing off against each other. That to me felt big match feel where you have Rollins and Breaker and Reed, and then you have Solo, Fatu, and Solo just keeps stealing the show with his personality. Does he not?
Man,
Doing
it's
that
shining
penta
so
walk.
much right
Oh
now.
my god, just everything he's doing is cracking me up. But yeah, dude, I felt like both these ladder matches, great spots. They kind of worked in tandem. Sometimes it looked a little sloppy. I think when you have a ladder match, you have to kind of have these predictable spots. Whereas a Logan Paul match, you're not necessarily expecting that. With the Money in the Bank, you are expecting the hoorah, the hoops. So to me, it just kind of looked a little bit more choreographed. But end of the day, I loved it.
Yeah, so I'll follow that up, and that I don't want to spend a ton of time being negative about everything, but I do have one giant and I think glaring problem with the Fireball ladder in itself, and I'll tell you why I have the problem with it. It's not necessarily the branding because look, we've said it on podcasts over the last month. Anywhere that TKO finds an available space at this point, we're pretty much expecting it to be branded. We already saw it with the table, so the ladder really wasn't that much of a shock. I thought it was really, really bad, unfortunately, on the briefcase itself with the Cash App. Really, really didn't like that. I think it was just for the match itself because I've seen photos since, and it's not on the briefcase for either winner, thankfully. But um, back to the ladder itself, the problem that I truly have with the ladder and it being propositioned, especially before the match, is that that if somebody goes for the briefcase before that ladder makes its appearance in the match, that's not like it's not happening. You're not getting the actual finish before that ladder makes its appearance. And so that's the problem that I have with that particular piece of branding.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think of it like that, but
Yeah.
you're right. You're gonna have. Yeah, I mean, it's just tough. I don't love any of it, so it's
Right.
hard for me to kind of get behind to a point. Like it's just too much. I think
It
that's
is. It's a lot.
the end of it. And like you said, if it's getting in the way of telling a story, that makes it
Hmm.
even more disgusting in my point.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of it. We're gonna have to find a way to work work through those moments. For the hard part for me, truly, too, is it takes away from the competitors and the story that's being told because you have to see it. And that ladder is red and it's glaring and it's just so objectively obtrusive to your eye and everything else that's going on in the ring, which I guess from a marketing perspective, great. Everybody knew that Fireball was, sponsoring that match and that ladder, and that's fine. But it's not, I didn't love it for the product. I hate that it's taken away so much. It's literally the ring mat looks like a NASCAR car. It
Right.
just it's just a lot. But let's
Oh,
let's talk.
I
Yeah,
do.
go ahead.
I do want to bring up one guy that just kind of it just didn't feel right. Granted, there was a cool spot where he got hit in the crotch, Andrade, but it just
Yeah.
seemed like time after time he was messing up in this match. I don't know if it was nerves or what it was, like just the timing of his moves and everything he did with the ladder just didn't look natural at all. So if there was one loser, I think it was Andrade from this match. Just didn't feel like he fit in.
I think you're right from the standpoint of I think LA Knight got highlighted. I think Penta got highlighted. Seth Rollins, obviously. Solo Sikoa, obviously. And El Grande Americano. Dear God, taking maybe the spear of all spears
Oh my
uh,
god.
from
Yeah.
Braun Breaker. But yeah, I thought everybody got highlighted really, really well in that match. And to your point, except for Andrade. So he is still in that mid card festering. You don't he's kind of old school Kofi Kingston, where he has a ceiling, and you just don't ever believe he's going to win like the big sort of match. Like he gets thrown in there, he does cool things, he's got a good look. I actually like the entrance for Andrade, but you just like I don't ever see him or feel that he's a potential real threat to win a big match like this one.
Yeah, and I think that's you nailed it on the head there. It's just I don't know if it's worth even investing in him as a WWE, with the luchas and everything else. Maybe go with somebody with a little higher ceiling.
It's tough. It's
Yeah.
tough. But Seth Rollins pulls this one out. He is your new Mr. Money in the Bank. And Maddie, I think we both had very different takes last week on who should win this match and why. And we both definitely talked about making a new star. Obviously, Seth is certainly already made, but you do have this new dynamic with Seth Rollins and being in this group with Braun Breaker, with Bronson Reed, with Paul Heyman at his side. And so it does certainly feel like, to me, the way that I'm looking at it now with Seth Rollins, I mean, first off, I don't think he necessarily needed it, but we are where we are, right? And he does have it. Is he set to become everything that he hated about Roman Reigns?
Good point. It's very, I mean, he's on that trajectory, right? Like, there's only one way to, yeah, it's tough, man. Like, I didn't see this coming. Maybe I was just like blinded by making another guy. But yeah, you were making a big point with the faction and Paul Heyman and everything else that this is a whole completely different beast than we had prior to WrestleMania.
I'm starting to believe that this is how we get back to Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, one-on-one. Finally, truly getting it one-on-one. And that is that Roman flips the entire script and goes and tells Seth, like, look, you're becoming literally everything that you hated about myself. And I think that's how we eventually get this feud. But I have a couple of questions for you, Maddie, about Seth Rollins, about being Mr. Money in the Bank. So twofold. Does someone cost him his cash in, be it CM Punk, be it maybe Roman Reigns? Does it get thwarted, or does he just simply have too much power surrounding him to not eventually win the title?
Multi-layered right there, right?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I highly expected CM Punk to cost Rollins getting this championship.
Right.
And they completely pivoted Punk to Cena now, which I was not I don't think either one of us were expecting that till later in the run. So that was kind of a curveball. And now you have him with this dominant group. So I don't know if it's not Roman Reigns costing it. I think there's a story there with Cena, right? I mean, you've seen Cena's facial expressions where he looks at the crowd. He's that tweener still, right? There's got to be a reason that Cena comes back to being a face at some point. And I think Rollins and his group could be that point down the road.
You're leaning into my next question, Maddie. You're leaning into my next question. Would it be a bigger deal if in John Cena's last match, John Cena is not facing Seth Rollins and Seth Rollins cashes in on John Cena in his last match? Is that a bigger deal than his WrestleMania 31 cash in?
Oh my God. You do this. It's like every month, it's like you hit me with one of these. And I mean, God, that's storytelling though, man. Like, you think Cena's riding out with the championship? I mean, that's another layer right there. Like,
yeah.
I mean, that would be magnificent. But then do you get Cena ever turn him back to face before he retires?
Yeah, I mean, that's the hard part. And we'll have a show coming up probably at some point where we're trying, because we're halfway, right? We're halfway into John Cena's retirement tour now. Maybe we try to book the rest of John Cena's retirement tour and kind of what that looks like here on the show at some point soon, as his dates are slowly but surely clicking down there. But I just think that, to your point, Cena's been very, very giving. He could literally go out on his last match on top with whoever that may be it a Randy, be it a CM Punk or a Cody Rhodes even, have that moment and then Seth cashes in. I think that would be really interesting. I don't know if it's going to happen, and we got a long way to get there, right? But But
Not
man,
really though, right? Like
yeah,
crazy, crazy.
yeah. I mean, we're already talking SummerSlam, so
Yeah, 18 appearances is what we got of Cena left.
yep, that's it.
That's
That's not
crazy,
matches,
man.
folks. That's not matches. That is literally just appearances. So, all right, you got anything else before we wrap up the
Yeah,
men's match there?
we got to talk solo here, right?
Oh,
Jacob
yeah, yeah,
Fatu,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
huge moment. This is something we thought we were going to get. What felt like months ago that this would
Months
come
ago,
to
yeah.
fruition. And kind of like I was saying, the match, you saw him come out and the factions facing off. Like I was digging every set of it. But yeah, of course, Fatu is a star. And he does the I Hate You solo. How magnificent was that?
It was fantastic. I'm still trying to buy into Jeff Cobb or JC Mateo being there with Solo. I haven't quite grasped onto him really being a kind of a difference maker in these storylines just yet. I'm willing to write it out and kind of see what happens because he is a talented a talented guy in the ring. So I'm not just like throwing him under the bus just yet. But I do need to see where that goes and kind of what his role is there alongside Jacob Fatu and that sort of thing. But I mean, to be able to tell this story in the middle of the match and then still be able to come back to the match itself and it keep going and it not be like, not be a complete and total distraction to everything else that was going on. I thought it was well placed within the match, and I think it's a great way to advance that storyline.
Yeah. And with Jeff Cobb, you got to remember, we didn't see Solo talk or do anything for almost
Oh,
2 years.
so long.
So
Yeah.
maybe this is a good way to kind of build a guy is by like just let him be in the area of other big stars.
Sure.
Let him, he doesn't have to talk, he doesn't have to fuck up anything. Just let him his presence be known and let him be a side piece till the time comes. Because right now at the top it's loaded anyways. So slow burn with all these guys, in my opinion.
Yep. Absolutely agreed on that.